Suseme panagit samu.
I would like to talk to you about what it is like to be a child who grows up never seeing a real school. I want to tell you what it's like to never have the chance to feel excited about being educated. That's why some of our students begin to give up in grade 4 and grade 5. They just stop going to school. Imagine that. Imagine a child who feels they have no future even at that young of an age. We want our younger brothers and sisters to go to school thinking that school is a time for hopes and dreams of the future. Every kid deserves this. Shannen Koostachin. Welcome to Things You Should Know, People Edition. Today we'll talk about Shannen Koostachin, an advocate and First Nation member who fought the government for an education for her and other First Nation children. Shannen was born in TYSK First Nation on James Bay Coast, Ontario, to Andrew Koostachin and Jenny Nakuji. She attended J.R. Nakuji Elementary School, which had been housed in makeshift portables since the year 2000. She went to school along with 400 other students in makeshift portables set up in the shadow of the abandoned J.R. Nakuji grade school. In 1979, a diesel line broke under the school, resulting in massive diesel contamination. The government had stalled on taking action, and the contamination spread until the school grounds were so badly contaminated they were classified as a Class 1 threat to human health. Despite federal government promises of a new school, students were still in mold-contaminated portables 7 years later in 2007 when they learned that Ottawa had canceled the project outright. The news sparked a rebellion among First Nation youth who reached out to students across the country, inspiring the largest youth-driven rights campaign in Canadian history. By the year 2007, the federal government had backed away from a third commitment to building a new school for the First Nation youth. Shannen then realized that the government was not giving proper funding to the First Nations Aboriginal schooling systems around Canada, and that's when her dream and movement came to be. In response, Shannen and others turned to YouTube and Facebook to launch the Students Helping Students campaign. Koostachin spoke out about the experiences of her community in newspapers, at conferences, and on steps of Parliament Hill in 2008. In 2009, at the age of 14, she was nominated for the International Children's Peace Prize. Shannen and her older sister Serena moved away from Atawapskat to New Liskeard, Ontario, for high school. On June 1, 2010, Shannen died as a result of a car accident. After Shannen's death, those who had participated in the Students Helping Students campaign wanted to continue her fight. Shannen's dream was formed, and is one of many social justice campaigns carried out by the First Nations Child and Family Caring Society. Shannen's Dream is a student and youth-focused campaign designed to raise awareness about the inequitable funding for First Nations children. It encourages supporters to write letters to their members of Parliament, the Minister of Aboriginal Affairs, and Northern Development Canada, and of course, to the Prime Minister of Canada. To accompany this movement, Timmins James Bay MP Charlie Angus reintroduced Shannen's Dream as Motion 201 to the House of Commons of Canada on September 26, 2011. On February 27, 2012, the House of Commons unanimously voted in favor of the motion. While her life may have been short, her impact was felt far beyond her years. Thank you for listening, and join us next time on Things You Should Know, People Edition.
Suseme panagit samu.